What's up, everyone? It's Kadi with MoneyVest. So markets here pushing higher very nicely with a nice rebound here with the NASDAQ pushing up close to 1.5%, the S&P 500 up 90 basis points, and the Dow Jones pushing up over 0.5% here on the day. All three indices except for the NASDAQ within striking distance of all-time highs. NASDAQ still needs to go up a little bit over 8 to 9% in order to recapture its highs from 2021. So semi stocks doing incredibly well on the back of TSMC numbers, jobless claims coming in very strong at 187,000, and of course Apple stock with an upgrade and a rebound on the day as part of our swing trade, continuing on that process as well. So hope you all enjoyed this video and find it helpful. All I'm asking in return is that you drop a like and of course subscribe to the channel. If you're just joining us for the first time, link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining. There's only 3 more spots left for January of 2024 if you want to take advantage of that 16% annual discount. Again, you get access to all the members-only private videos, buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas, and everything is going to be included as well. So again, link's going to be down below. And we'd love to have you on board. And also do connect with me on Instagram. My handle is going to be CASWRP. I do post a lot of interesting stories. Again, this is going to be for the Patreon. You get a lot of alerts as well. And I do post a lot of stories, like I said, polls, strategies, tips, portfolio updates, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So connect with me over there as well. So this right here, NASDAQ pushing up over 1.35%, S&P's up 90 basis points, and the Dow Jones here up over 0.5% as well, with over 3,000 stocks advancing on the day and 2,600 stocks declining on the day here. Very strong move to the upside. And we did had 187,000 jobless claims, and TSMC outlook drives a $165 billion chip rally in the 2024 rebound bet. So semiconductor stocks from Tokyo to Nvidia gained more than $160 billion of market value after TSMC outlook for capital spending and revenue lifted hopes for a broad tech recovery in 2024. TSMC's better than projected numbers underscored expectations for a bounce back in smartphone chip and computing demand following more than a year of post-COVID malaise. And on Friday, the world's most valuable chip maker gained more than 6% into its biggest gain in almost a year after a near 10% climb in the US, and key suppliers Tokyo Electron and Adventist Corporation gained more than 5% in Tokyo, and together they fueled the gain in the semiconductor stocks from US to Asia at roughly $165 billion. So if you come over to after hours, SMH was up another 71 basis points, not to mention Nvidia was up about 0.5%, and we have Advanced Micro Devices, AMD up over 1%, and TSMC, of course, TSM is going to be that ticker symbol, up a little bit over 9%, almost 10% on the day. So very strong momentum coming in for a lot of chip stocks. Now, Apple was part of our swing trade, so a few honorable mentions I want to give. First of all, to ACLS, that's your Axcelis Technologies, and this was part of the watch list, and of course mentioned in one of my videos on why it is going to be a potential stock to worth consider as a buying opportunity, considering how oversold it was trending lower, coming down to that support at close to low 100s, and a very nice bounce back up today, up over 4.4%, and from its lows, the stock is now up a little bit over 12.5% already, back up to $125. Starbucks was another one, a very high quality stock, pushing higher on the day, up over 1.7%. So very nice move to the upside. Congratulations if you've taken advantage of this move higher. And then finally, Apple stock was another one that was sitting right on its 200 simple moving average. So this right here was a 200 SMA with a very nice push back higher on the day, up a little bit over 3%, back up to $188. And this right here is my Apple position. Again, recently started in a different portfolio, up over 1.5%. But the idea here is to keep dollar cost averaging, and the target's going to be 190 all the way up to as much as 199, close to $200 per share for Apple. So that's going to be that target with that potential bounce back up from that 200 SMA as we discussed earlier in our previous video. So again, if you want to get these alerts, find out exactly what I'm buying, when I'm buying, and what stocks we're looking at with our intrinsic value, link's going to be down below. We'd love to have you on board. So when we look at the heat map, again, technology kind of leading the way. Broadcom, Nvidia, Qualcomm. Qualcomm's been killing it, by the way, up over 4.2%. It's done incredibly well. This is also one of the stocks in that semiconductor space that I mentioned that is still very undervalued at the time, and it was at low 100s. Low 100s for Qualcomm was an absolute steal. It's up a little bit over 39, close to 40% from those levels. Good balance sheet, good growth, great valuation at the time, and next target and resistance is going to be up to 159, close to $160 per share for this stock. So we're going to go ahead and turn these levels now back into a support for Qualcomm. Now, going over to Apple, again, 3% green, Microsoft pushing higher, Amazon up 1%, Meta up 2%, continues to move higher. Tesla still struggling a little bit, down about 1.7% here on the day. And again, technology, comm services, industrial, cyclicals, materials, all sectors pushing higher, with real estate and utilities selling off. And in the last 1 week, of course, technology is the only sector that's up over 2.5%. Everything else is straight up down. In the last 1 month, of course, comm services, healthcare, technology, all pushing higher, with other parts of the market, other sectors still somewhat struggling and selling off. Sugar prices, orange juice, coffee prices, feeder cattle, live cattle, everything pushing higher, with lean hogs, natural gas, Nikkei, and volatility down. Bitcoin here just over 41,000 and Ether just over 2,400 at the moment as well. So seeing a little bit of a pullback in cryptos. Crude oil continues to move higher, so a little bit back over 73, almost $74 a barrel right now, and the next target and resistance is going to be at $81 a barrel. So this right here is going to be that level to keep in mind, and of course support level is going to stay put right over here in around those levels at 73, 74. Volatility here, once again, seeing a little bit of that momentum, but dropping back down of a little bit over 4.5% as the markets move back higher on the day. So again, we're going to keep a close eye at this red rectangle all the way up to this green rectangle. It's going to be 18 to 20 levels, and down here, down below, it's going to be 11 to 12. Talking about Bitcoin, so again, starting to sell right back down. Resistance is going to stay put at 48,000 to as much as 51,000. And we are starting to see a little bit of that pullback, and next support, next area of demand is going to be inside this green rectangle between $30,000 and $31,000. And Ether also kind of going through a very similar process of seeing a bit of a pullback, and support level is going to stay put inside this green rectangle, this area of demand between 2,000 and 2,400 for Ether as well. Now going over to the markets, and IWM, by the way, I started a new position in IWM, so sent out an alert on the day today. It's up over 0.5%, bought it in pre-market, I believe at close to 190s. But again, I do believe long-term, medium to long-term hold for IWM is going to be pretty solid, considering rates expected to come down. And a lot of these companies are still trading at fair to reasonable valuation. So there is a lot of potential opportunity in small caps in 2024, in my opinion. And again, check out that other video, and also do join if you want to get access to those alerts, like I said earlier. Now going over to markets first. So S&P 500 continues to sort of slowly and steadily trade back higher. And again, we are just like very, very small percentage away from hitting new all-time high, like literally less than 1% away. Once again, S&P is taking its sweet time to trade back up to all-time highs. It's obviously been getting rejected here a couple times at 4,800, support level at 4,690, close to 4,700. So in my opinion, I have no doubt that maybe not this week, but next week there is possibility for us to retrace back up to all-time highs. It's possible that we see that tomorrow with another 70-80 basis point rally, considering how strong the semi stocks and chip stocks have been. And that's really what's going to drive this momentum higher. NASDAQ also pushing up to that resistance again at 15,100 to 15,400. So those right there are going to be some levels to watch and keep in mind for the NASDAQ. And of course, beyond that, we're going to be keeping a close eye at 16,100 as well. So that is going to be that next level to watch for NASDAQ. But first of all, it's going to be 15,100 to 15,400. So first area of resistance to watch for the NASDAQ. Now going over to Apple stock. Apple here also, like I said, bouncing back higher very nicely. Resistance is going to be all the way up to 190. And if you do see a breakout above this 190, it's going to be that next level to watch for Apple. And of course, support level is going to stay put down to $180 per share for the stock here. So again, lower highs and lower lows. That 200 SMA, that's going to be that support level to keep in mind. Resistance, like I said, all the way to 190 to as much as next target at $198 per share. Talking about Amazon also moving higher a little bit, up over 1%. Next resistance at close to 155. So this right here is going to be that next target and that level to watch. Beyond that, we're watching 161 for Amazon as a next resistance, and support level is going to stay put roughly around $143 per share. So that is going to be that previous support. That is going to be continuing to be that next support level to also watch for Amazon. Talking a little bit about Tesla here, and Tesla here continues to struggle a little bit. Once again, selling off, down over 1.7, almost 2%, coming down to low 200. So this right here exactly is the area of support that we have talked about for Tesla inside this green rectangle. And of course, it continues to sell off, down a little bit over 19, almost 20% in the last couple of weeks here. And I'm going to start selling some puts on Tesla here. So in my other video, which I go over Tesla stock, I'm going to be going over my entire plan and what the idea is to start selling puts on Tesla, considering how oversold it really is, and of course the fact that it's been selling off and it's coming down to a very nice, incredible support down to these low 200s. So resistance going to stay put at 240, still very much in a downtrend, still very much weak from a technical perspective, but now is the time, in my opinion, to start looking at selling puts for Tesla. Nvidia here hitting a new all-time high at 576. I mean, just absolutely crushing it right now, up another 1.8, almost 2%. Huge breakout for this ascending triangle now in price discovery, because we need to wait and see where that next resistance ends up being for Nvidia stock. But support level, as we already know, is going to stay put down to low 500s for Nvidia, with a very overbought RSI and MACD as well. Same thing with advanced micro devices. Very strong move up to 162 market cap, now at over $260 billion. It's done incredibly well, with the support level now sitting at 156 for AMD. This was actually one of my top stocks going into 2024, as I've already mentioned before. Year to date's already up over 12.5%. And it's done incredibly well since low 100s. It's pushed up over 60 to 70%. So massive gain. Congratulations to anyone who's taken advantage of advanced micro devices or semi stocks in general with SMH. Support level, like I said, it's going to stay put down to 156. All the way down to 131, down to as low as that 200 SMA, down to $112 per share for AMD. Going over to PayPal, and PayPal here on the day also moving higher very nicely, up over 3.6%. Next resistance and target's going to be up to $65. So this right here is going to be that level and that resistance level to keep in mind for PayPal, and support level, of course, at $56, $57 per share. Lots of consolidation sideways for PayPal here. Visa, on the other hand, also moving higher to new all-time highs. It's kind of like blow the top off rally for Visa, breaking out of its higher high, and support level is going to stay put down to $245 to $250 per share. So that right there inside this green rectangle is going to be that area of support to watch for Visa. So very nice higher highs and higher lows, consistent uptrend, but that right there is going to be that support level to watch for Visa. Talking about Meta platforms, and Meta here also pushing up to almost a new 52-week high, continues to trade inside this rising wedge of that kind of like this rising wedge of higher highs and higher lows, a very concentrated rally, and resistance is going to stay put at $383 per share for Meta, and of course support level is going to stay put down to $352 for Meta as well. So very nice consistent uptrend of higher highs and higher lows. So moving higher, resistance is going to stay put at 383, support level at 352 for Meta. Talking about Netflix, and Netflix here also with its higher highs and higher lows, a very nice consistent uptrend. Resistance is going to stay right over here at its resistance at close to 485 to 495, as we have already talked about this. And next target's going to be all the way up to $507, $510, with the support level staying put at close to 450 for Netflix. Talking about Google. And Google here also pushing higher, push up over 1.4, almost 1.5%. So very strong move to the upside. Meta and Google probably have the same exact identical chart of rising wedge here, pushing higher and higher with some very nice higher highs and higher lows in a little bit of an uptrend. And next target for Google is going to be all the way up to 150. And support level obviously is going to stay put down to $141, $140 per share for Google. And finally, we got Microsoft, Costco, and Enphase. Microsoft here also pushing up over 1%. So entire Magnificent 7, except for Tesla, was green very nicely, with Apple kind of leading the way. And Microsoft here just a little bit under $3 trillion market cap. And Apple here, of course, right now is also just under $3 trillion market cap at the moment. So Microsoft, once again, almost at a new all-time high here, just under $400 per share. Going over to Costco, and Costco here continues to move up another 46 basis points, $687. The momentum is nothing short of extraordinary for Costco here, considering how incredible it has seen that momentum from those moving averages, and of course overbought RSI, and there is a lot of optimism around Costco considering how defensive this stock really is. It's got a both sort of like defensive and growth aspect to this company. Now, one more company that I really want to mention is ASML, honorable mention, because ASML is another semi stock that we started buying in the 600s, and it's done really well back up to $744. $771 is going to be that next resistance, and I do believe, again, it's got lots of potential upside. Here, of course, it's more than doubled since its October 22 lows. But, of course, resistance is going to be $771 all the way up to $877 next is going to be that target level to watch for ASML. And finally, of course, we got Enphase. Enphase here continues to struggle a little bit, rebounding just over 1% here on the day, but of course trading below this support area, which is going to turn into a resistance for the company. But low 100s still, I believe, is going to be reasonable and a good valuation for this growth stock moving forward, with an excellent balance sheet and of course a lot of potential. And right now getting rejected at that 200 SMA because it was overbought, and of course we got that resistance sitting right there as well. So hope you all enjoyed this video and a complete update on the markets. The bottom line is that we are seeing a lot of momentum and sentiment continues to the upside for big tech and large cap tech. Couple new positions, so IWM started a new position, Apple dollar cost averaging for that swing trade, and a few other trade ideas that I will be talking about over the weekend with all of our members, going over a couple videos where I do believe there's a lot of opportunities in a few different sectors and stocks that I will be highlighting for our members over the weekend. So again, if you want to get access to all those private videos, link's going to be down below. Hope you all enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and again, links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. We'd love to have you on board with that 16% annual discounts also available. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.